This video is called How I Generated $3 million for my clients with lead generation, and it's going to be different than the other videos I do with like all the cuts and all the stuff and all like the lighting and the fancy edits. This one's just going to be me basically just giving you the story of how I started, how I basically went from an average everyday person to being able to generate $3 million with lead generation, right? This isn't going to be a normal video, with all the edits and stuff. So I'm just going to be keeping it real with you guys and just keeping it raw with you guys. So if I make some mistakes while I'm talking, I'm not going to be editing them out. I'm kind of just going to let it go. Okay. So as you guys know, my name is Faizan. I run a lead gen agency called Outbound Gen, and it seems like I'm making money now. I'm doing good. We're trying to scale the agency up to like 50, 100K a month now in 2024, but it really wasn't always this way. Okay. So I had very humble beginnings. When I was around 18, 19, when I graduated high school, I wanted to make money online so bad, right? I started seeing the drop shipping ads and the SMMA ads and all that stuff on my Instagram feed, just like a lot of you guys are probably seeing it too. So I was hooked, right? I was like, I want to make money online. I want to, be rich. I want to have the cars. I want to have the watches. I want to do all that fancy stuff. I want to do all that cool stuff. But what I didn't realize is what I was in for something like way bigger than I thought it was going to be, and it was way harder than I thought it was ever going to be, right? And I'm glad it was, because if it wasn't, then anybody would be able to do it, right? So I think the main thing that I realized when I was, young was that I didn't want to be like everyone else. And I'm sure that if you're watching my channel, if you're watching my videos, you don't want to be like everyone else either. You're working a 9 to 5, you're in high school, you're in college, or you're working a job you really hate and you want to make some sort of money on the side. You want to do something on the side. You want to have some sort of business that you could end up taking on full time. That's going to give you that financial freedom. It's going to allow you to live the life you want and like do whatever you want with your time. So if you're watching my channel right now, like you're watching this video, then this is for you guys, right? Because I was in your exact shoes, right? I was lost, I was anxious, I was depressed, I was sad. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what to do. All I knew was I wanted to make 10K a month, 20K a month, 30K a month, 40K a month, 50K a month, whatever the case is. I wanted to be financially free. I didn't want to have to boss. I wanted to travel whenever I wanted to travel. I wanted to afford the things I wanted to afford, buy the nice things for my family. But where does that stuff start? Like, how does someone go from being an average, like nobody, to being able to generate millions of dollars of value for a company, right? Or for people? And it really does start with mindset. Like, I know it's so cliche and everyone's like, oh, mindset this, mindset that, but it really does come down to that shit at the end of the day. So I was always super into mindset, even when I was like in middle school and high school. So a lot of people don't know this about me. I've never said this on my YouTube or any of my channel before, but all my close homies know this about me. I was obsessed with basketball, right? Basketball was like my life. Before lead generation or cold email was my thing, like basketball was my thing, right? From the time I was 14 to the time I was like 19, 20, I was obsessed with basketball. Now, I'm not just talking about I was passionate about basketball. Like, this is something I like to do on the weekends. The thing about me is, like, when I get into something, when I get obsessed with something, I give my whole life to it, right? So my whole being goes to it. Everything goes to it. I become disgustingly obsessed with it. So I was waking up 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. I would ride my bike to the park, do drills, go to the gym, practice my jump shot, make sure I was good. And then at night, I would watch my Kobe videos, my LeBron, Jordan videos, and just, try to mimic them. Figure out how do they think about the game? What is their frame? Why do they think the way they think? What is their philosophy? Why do they do things the way they do things? Why do they talk the way they talk, right? Why do they walk the way they walk, right? Why do they have these specific mindset, these specific ideas about mindset? Why is it so important? And what I really got from them, honestly, from Kobe, Jordan, all these guys, right, is if you want to genuinely be great at anything, it's not just about working hard. It's like, you genuinely have to become disgustingly obsessed with that thing. Like, that's the only thing that you care about, is becoming great at that thing. You don't care about anything else. If you have a goal, that's all you want to do. All I want to do is wake up every single day, play basketball, get better at basketball, become a better player, and all of that, right? But there was a very big jump and a very big obstacle that I was facing, right, when I was in high school. So the thing is I was so good, right, when I play at the park, like I play with my friends, play club basketball, like I was so good. I was a great shooter, you know, really good handler, like I passed the ball, really good shooter, good scorer, right? But when it came time to perform, like under the lights, like a real game, like my high school games, like games that actually mattered to like further my career, I would get anxious. I would freeze up. I'd fear. I'd get scared. You know, I'd get these butterflies in my stomach, and I would literally freeze up on the court. Like I would actually genuinely freeze up on the court. Like it was embarrassing. It was humiliating, right? And it got to the point where it was genuinely affecting me, right? Not just like, oh, whatever, it's just a game. Like I wanted to be good so bad that I was bad, right? And I tried so many things to get over this. I tried like meditation and like listening to these musics before games and, you know, training harder and practicing harder. And my high school career passed. I wasn't that great of a player. I could have been much better, but it is what it is, right? It doesn't really affect me as much because I knew what I learned from that situation. And the biggest lesson I learned from that is that sometimes in order to be the best, you actually have to care less, right? And that probably sounds crazy to so many people. It's like, whoa, don't you have to care? Don't you have to care so much? Don't you have to care so much? But no. And let me explain to you something. When you care so much about something, some goal that you have, or something that you want to achieve, or even like some girl that you want, right, or something, what you do is you put that thing on a pedestal, right? And when you put that thing on a pedestal, that means you're now looking up at that thing, right, that you want. Now, when you're looking up at something, that means that you don't think that you are capable of having that thing because you're looking up at it. You think that it's better than you. You think that that thing is better than you. You think that that goal is better than you. You think that all of that is better than you. So you're never going to achieve something that you think is better than you because you're going to be continuously chasing it and just like seeking validation. Now, what you actually have to do is you have to care a little bit less. Drop it off the pedestal. What do you care? Who cares? Fuck that. I don't care about that. I don't care about that girl. I don't care about that goal. I'm going to hit that goal because I'm about it. All my actions, they back up what I do. Your confidence comes from your actions. So a lot of people, especially in our make money online space, right? Everyone pedestalizes making $10,000 a month. But the truth is, when I got to 10K a month, the reason I got to 10K a month is because 10K a month was the bare minimum for me. And I felt like if I don't hit 10K a month, I'm a fucking loser. That's literally when I hit 10K a month is when I literally felt like I was a loser if I didn't hit that number, right? So a lot of you guys are pedestalizing that number in your head. So you're never going to reach that number because you pedestalize it, right? So knock it off the pedestal and start thinking of it as a standard, right? Have higher standards for yourself. Think of yourself as someone who makes 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. The reason I was able to make 20, 30,000 is because I had that as my standard. I worked super hard and I'm like, I'm the type of guy who deserves $30,000 a month and my actions back that up. So that's why I was able to hit those numbers, right? And now my numbers are like 100K a month, 200K a month. I want to get to $1 million a month. Why can't I get to $1 million a month? I don't give a fuck. I see other people in my circle making $1 million a month. So I think I can hit $1 million a month too. They're not any different than me. They have the same 24 hours in the day that I have. So why can't I hit that number? Okay, that's how you have to start thinking about it, right? It's a standard. It's all about how much you can do, about how much you could work, not about putting it on a pedestal and thinking, oh, I'm chasing this goal, I'm chasing this goal. You don't chase a goal. You have a goal and then you do the things and the goal comes to you, okay? You attract the fucking goal. You don't chase the fucking goal, okay? Complete difference in mindset and frame when you start thinking about these things. So you need to start thinking about things in terms of abundance, okay? Now, I don't know how many people are going to watch this video because it's completely different than all the cute other videos that I do. And I'm going to be honest, I like doing these types of videos more because I feel like I have a shit ton of things to say. And doing a little 3-4 minute video about lead generation is not going to cut it, okay? So that's why I wanted to make this video today, especially because I just hit 3K subscribers, which means that some of you guys actually like what I have to say, you know? So it's resonating with some of you guys at least, right? And, you know, inshallah, we can grow to 100K subscribers, 1 million subscribers, more subscribers, right? But I want to talk about other stuff with you guys, right? I have so many things to talk about. But the biggest things and the biggest values that you guys are going to get from me and get from this channel isn't just going to be lead generation knowledge. It's going to be the other knowledge around that, like the mindset, right? The stuff that's super important about, becoming who you want to become and how to actually change your reality. Like, how can you change your reality in real time, right? And understanding that who you are right now is not really like what you think you are. It's just what you are right now is just a combination of all of the actions and the perceptions that you have of who you are, right? And I know that shit sounds crazy to you, but that's just true. And I want to get more into more stuff like that with you guys, right? So I know I just sidetracked a little bit, but let me go back into my story of, how I started and how I went from an everyday person to really getting to that point where I'm able to generate like $3 million for companies and $3 million for lead generation, right? So I tried drop shipping, I tried SMMA, I tried all these different business models, and none of them worked for me. And I was devastated because I was like, all my friends, they're becoming lawyers, doctors, engineers, they're gonna make a shit ton of money. And here I've spent like 20K, 25K on courses and programs, and I haven't made any money yet, right? So what I started to do was, I had to get a job. So I looked for a job and I became an SDR. Now, a sales development rep or an SDR basically generates leads for a company. So I was working with this little software company, a startup, and I was generating leads for them. I was doing cold calling and I was doing all this stuff for them. And I realized, I'm like, I'm never going to give this entrepreneur thing up because I just have to do it. Like, I'm obsessed with it. I have to do it. It's either I'm going to be an entrepreneur or I'm going to die trying to be an entrepreneur. There's no plan B for me. The plan A is be an entrepreneur. There's no plan B. The only reason I'm being an SDR so I can get the skills and I can make some money so my parents don't think I'm a loser and I have a little bit of money coming in so I can support my entrepreneurial ventures. Okay. So I'm still doing that stuff on the side. Okay. So literally 9 to 5, I'm waking up, I'm working, and then like 5 to 9, 5 to 10, I'm working on my side hustle, which is lead gen agency. Okay. Now, I got to the point where I finally started to like get some traction. I'm booking some sales calls. I'm getting clients. I signed my first client in like 2021, right? And my life changed. So I was like, okay, now I'm finally ready to do this. I'm finally in the game right now. So this is my first client, right? Now, when you're early on in the game and you sign your first client, it's really important for you to get some wins and really dive in as hard as possible. So become a complete student of the game, right? Pay for mentorships, programs, courses, whatever you need to do, like to just get more knowledge so you could provide more value, because how much value you provide is how much you're going to get paid. So I was joining programs, I was joining courses so I can get these clients results, right? So this actually client was some fintech software company, and they were going to a bunch of these conferences, these events, to try to generate leads from these events, and I was in charge of that. That's what I was going to do for them as a client. I told them I could help them to like get more leads with cold email, and that's what I was going to do. So I was actually helping them with events. Now, I spent hours a day researching, writing different angles, different offers, figuring out who their target market was, what would resonate with their target market, what was their pain points, how does their product help these companies, right? What pain points does it solve for them? All of these things. Like, I got surgical with this shit, right? Like, super surgical with this shit. Hours in a Google Doc writing pages and pages of notes on how I could book meetings and what angles to use and what offers to use, right? I truly became obsessed with it, right? Like, I wanted to make money, but I knew I needed to be good. That's the only way I was going to be able to make money. So that's what I did. And it paid off because that first conference rolled around, I was booking them like 10, 15 meetings. Another conference, another 10, 15 meetings. I was booking them I think 7 to 12 meetings a month. And they were paying me like $350 for every meeting that I booked them. So I was making around 4 or 5K a month, around not 3 to 5K a month from that client. And I was still making like 4K a month for my job. So I was like fresh out of college making like 7K a month, right? So now I'm thinking like I made it, like I'm good, I feel good. But that was just the start, right? Then I quit my job. I went all into lead gen. I spent like my whole life savings on a coaching program to I think I spent like 10K on a coaching program. That's all the money I had at the time. And I went all in, learned how to systemize the lead gen business, learned how to scale it. A couple months later, I was at 10K a month. A couple months later, I was at 15K a month, then 20K a month, then 30K a month. And I scaled that thing up. And that's when I started my coaching program, where I teach other guys like how to start their coaching programs as well, how to start their, and that's when I started my coaching program where I teach other people how to build their lead gen agencies as well. And we've had countless people be successful from that as well. And I'm still scaling my agency too right now. But how did I get to that point? That's my story, right? But how did I get to that point? It really does come down to like a disgusting level of obsession with what you do, and having a level of delusion as well. Like, I don't give a fuck what they say about me. I don't give a fuck what my family says. I don't give a fuck what my friends say. Like, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. This is what I'm going to do. This is my roadmap. This is my plan. And I'm going to do it. I don't care how long it takes, because some people told me it could have taken 30 days, 60 days. This shit took me like 5-6 years, okay? And there was plenty of times where I was like, maybe I should quit. Maybe I should get a job. But I couldn't, because I know I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I did, okay? So that's basically my story of how I went from an everyday person, average dude, like I'm nothing special, okay? And that's why I want to make this video too, is like, I don't think I'm anything special. I think I'm just someone who decided to put that work in and didn't take no for an answer and kept going when that shit got tough, right? So I make these videos because I know you guys can do the same. So that's everything for this video. Let me know what you guys think of this new format. Thank you guys all for 3,000 subscribers as well. And let me know if you want me to do more stuff like this, and I'll see you in the next video.